neutrality, this seems interesting.
Approaches, to be sure.
Wireless is causing cancer, and the FCC has been hiding it from everyone.
Internet is human right, or at least you all have to agree that it's a basic necessity in 2017, in the 21st century, to live a good life.
As the FCC backs off, carriers could start slowing down data streams or adding caps for non-sponsored services, anything to give their partners an edge.
This net neutrality thing is confusing. I need some help.
Did somebody say help? How would you like to go on a net neutrality adventure?
You mean it? You would actually teach me?
Yeah, let's go!
Yeah.
Basically, what net neutrality does is restrict ISPs or internet service providers from slowing down or speeding up the data streaming service to you. This is why it's also referred to as a level playing field. The result of these regulations and rules for net neutrality was that the ISPs hated it, while the tech companies loved it. This is because, naturally, each company wants to pay as little as possible for whatever resources they need. Well, and net neutrality only supported the tech companies on that account.
You might think the internet is all wireless and only electricity needs cables and wires, but this is not the case.
The internet is made of physical cables called bandwidth.
In 2015, two companies, Netflix and Google, which owns YouTube, use over half of the bandwidth on the entire internet.
To fix this, ISPs created the idea of fast lanes, bandwidth dedicated for data-heavy videos and movies in exchange for a higher price.
Net neutrality forces ISPs to have neutral speeds for users no matter the website, so the fast lanes were dropped and still not been implemented.
The internet is a big deal in the 21st century, and no matter which side of net neutrality you're on, there are pros and cons to it. One of the biggest concerns is that without net neutrality, ISPs would be able to censor content and take away people's freedom of speech. But is this really the case? Ironically, only companies that want the regulations enforced by net neutrality have been censoring content. Seems like a non-existent problem, especially when considering that higher pricing tiers would influence companies to develop newer and better solutions.
This net neutrality thing seems like an important topic. Let's see what other people have to say about it. Good idea, and I have someone just down the street who can interview. Let's go.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Ronaldo St. George. I'm the Navy Base Point Loma IT Director.
Okay, so to start off, what is your personal opinion on the net neutrality rules and regulations?
Well, I believe that internet service providers should treat all users equally. In simple terms, I think they should not charge anyone different, whether it's for content, website, applications, or equipment.
So, how has net neutrality affected your line of work?
As far as from a military standpoint, I don't see any change as far as how we perform our business in military networks. But what I'm worried about is about the fleet. For instance, future changes may or may not affect our military community in areas like accessing TRICARE, the VA, things like the spouses' websites of small businesses that they have, and other things like, sending messages on Facebooks and those type of other applications. Right now, I'm just doing my best to stay informed about net neutrality.
So how does net neutrality add any regulations or restrictions the general public should be concerned about?
None that I'm aware of right now. I don't expect much to happen instantly. I think it should be a while before we feel any of the disappearance of the open and free internet.
Do you feel like internet quality has been better or worse following the removal of the regulations?
Very good question. I've seen no major changes so far. I vow and hope that the IT providers or internet providers will keep their allegiance to the fact of free and open internet. We just have to wait and see what happens on that.
People we interviewed obviously describe net neutrality from their point of view, their side. But these sides may seem a bit more complicated, especially with media saying two things at once. Thankfully, these sides can be boiled down to two core ideas. If you want administrative forces to control the internet, you are for net neutrality. If you want the internet to stay free of meddling, you are against it. However, no matter which side you were on, net neutrality was repealed in December 2017.
Thanks so much, I learned a lot.
Happy to help. Goodbye.
Wait, what?
Start
We're
it.
doing, I think
I'm gonna go in car on!
we are.
Thanks for helping me.